Hey guys, SeanB here. Today I am very proud to say that I have completed ToA Hell with 30 star, rank 6 in Asia server. This is probably the only thing in Summoner Sword that I will ever get in the top 10 for. I also try to do it with the most sort of free-to-play friendly way possible in as many stages as possible. Super proud of this achievement. So before we do anything, can we get a like and maybe subscribe to the channel if you're new? Thank you so much. So these are the units I have used in my ToA Hell journey. Not all of them are rune because I switch rune around to fit certain stages condition, but overall these are the units I use. Some of them I use in every single stage and some of them I use only once. So now let's go through every single stage and what I did and what I can do even better. This was the team that I used for the stage, but I think it can be done better if I replace the homunculus with the light 2A shaman so that I can do even more damage during the boss stage. But this is definitely doable with this team because the runes are kind of everywhere right now. If you want to take a reference for your violent unit, I think this is a very generic kind of speed and defensive stat you need to do well in ToA Hell. You probably need somewhere in total 240 to 260 speed on violent, and you need to be tanky. Preferably if you are tanking certain element in the stage that you know this unit will be attacked by a water or fire element, then relevant artifact can help you tank even better. So this is probably my most preferred build for Spectra and ToA Hell on violent, on crit damage, have good accuracy, and can take some hit as well. This will allow you to do somewhere in the 30 to 40,000 HP per hit with skill 2, and that will help you to clear bosses much faster. I prefer using at least one of these kind of units that do damage according to enemy max HP in your team because you don't want to stay in the boss fight way too long. The longer you stay, the worse RNG you're probably gonna get. Fran will be on violent to keep up the healing, Lauren will be on violent to keep up the attack by reduction, and homunculus will be on despair rune, but he's now my favorite farmer again. This is probably a despair set that I throw around on my team on my homunculus, lure, or Clara. So speed, defense, and HP. No matter what rune you're using, you have to be a little bit tanky to take some hits, and also entering the 240 to 260 speed to make sure that you are moving in front of the enemy. For stage number 2, this is the team that I'll be using. The condition will be giving everybody immunity. So having a stripper and then control them will be very important. The wave will not be immune to stun but immune to attack by decreasing effect. So Gianni, Lauren will not be as powerful here because they cannot reduce enemy attack bar. That's why I'm running a Bella instead of Lauren, and I'm running the homunculus right here to give my team speed buff, give enemy speed debuff, and also reduce the cooldown of my 2 damage dealer. And this guy doesn't need to be on violent, but if you can make him on violent, that'll be really good because the cooldown is not really long and he can heal and do big damage at the same time. My Bella that I use across ToA Hell is not on violent but just random rune with good stats. So speed, defense, and HP. You can run violent as well, which is probably going to be much better for more consistent defense break and healing. Homunculus will be the free-to-play Ganymede or the upgraded map for the cooldown reset for both sides and also the speed buff and speed debuff. The skill 2 defense break is very crucial because if I don't run Bella, then this will be my main defense break skill as well. So very important for this unit to be really fast, have some decent accuracy to land debuff, and tanky as well. This stage can be done with the same team that I used in stage 1 because it's very similar, no special mechanic. The boss is dark element, which means you can replace the homunculus with shaman to do it even faster if you want to. But the first time I did it with the homunculus with the dots and the control, and then I just try to do damage to the boss with Spectra. There's no immune to attack by reduction or stun, so it's not really that hard. In this stage, math will be better for provoking the boss because they'll be immune to cooldown increasing effect from attack, which means Gani or homunculus will not be at their full effectiveness. Stage number 4, this is the hardest, biggest hurdle in this entire ToA Hell for a lot of people. And this was where I discovered Shaman, because you don't want to stay and find the Amduat and Rakuni for a very long time. RNG will definitely work against you sooner or later. So doing damage is to me more important. And this team will take 2 rotation and the boss will be dead, because Shaman can do easily 100,000 damage to the boss, with Spectra doing another 30k and then reset and then do the skill again. This is probably the least free to play team on my entire journey right here, with 2 Nat5 being Jemiah and Ganymede. But then I used the same concept later on and changed it to a more free to play friendly team in the later stages. But this was when I discovered Shaman and I was very happy with the team. I think Lure play a very important role in the trash wave, because with Lure skill always land as a crushing hit, I can push back, defense break, and never worry about the wind sniper one-shot my unit. So going in, I can immediately focus them down with pushback, defense break, slow debuff, reset the attack bar, and kill the molly first. After that, without worrying about the glancing passive of the molly, I can deal with the sniper very quickly too. The next wave is not too important. In the final boss stage, I do the same. Push back with Lure, push back with Gani, and then just spam the bird skill 2 onto Nephthys, and it was over in a flash, and I'm very happy with this team. On Reddit, I saw this variation that worked out for other people. So the concept is the same. You go in, you're trying to pass the first wave with the damage coming out from the bird, control the boss stage with Provoke, and attack my pushback of Tyrone, and then try to do damage to the boss with a double 2-way bird. It might not work as well as the Jemiah Gani, but this is the more free-to-play version. You can also replace the John with the Homunculus, so this will help you to reset Nephthys and Namdwat AoE skill that is devastating. So you go in, push back the attack bar. With Homunculus, the skill of the 2-way bird will come back often, and then you're able to deal with the boss even faster. So this is the free-to-play variation to this team that I'll be using on other stages to deal with the boss quickly, instead of relying on continuous damage that is Rika. This one was also a little bit special. They will have immunity, and the Veromos will be immune to attack bar decreasing effect, which is the best way to deal with Veromos. Because there are 2 Hadam in the boss stage, I couldn't one-shot Veromos like how I one-shot Giana. So I decided to just take the first hit from the wave and the boss. And the way that people use is to run heavy Nat5 shield unit. But Emma is a very strong shield unit as well. So her shield buff and defense buff and healing allow me to just survive the trash wave and the boss first turn very effectively. Violent, speed, HP, and HP. Her healing skill with her HP, so you need double HP build, and she is fantastic because the boss can cleanse attack break very frequently. The best light tank that I have for him will be Shaman. He never put Shaman at the point where my Shaman was about to die. Never. Very easy to tank Veromos with Shaman. And with the Homunculus cooltime reset skill, the boss rarely have a chance to perform AoE stun, so I'm always pretty safe. Why is this thing here? So the trick is to kill the Perna first, for me, because I have a Homunculus to reset the cooltime, but it is impossible to kill the Perna with dots alone. You need heal block. And this guy do good damage and have heal block and auto debuff as well to protect the heal block from getting cleansed by Veromos. Also, the consistent defense break help when Veromos can cleanse every single turn. In Trash Wave, this skill can cleanse the defense break of the Dark Viking and the heal block from the Brian in the second wave that might cause you to die. So I think Fire Panda is a perfect unit for the stage as a support unit. Really amazing. This deal enough damage on the arena to barely break the shield, but the trick is to have that skill ready and use the strip into defense break on the Dark Homunculus to prep for the Shaman skill 2 onto the arena. I haven't found a way to replace Rika just yet because the dot damage allow me to kill the Perna through the Hadam. Maybe Hemos, maybe Beretta can work as well, but I was trying really hard to get it done. really hard. This stage is crazy. So I had to go in with the Rika for the slow debuff, very important, and the dot to kill the Perna through the dam, and this worked out just fine. Next up, we have the Psamathe boss that is immune to cooldown increasing effect, which means you cannot reset the passive, so you have to kill this thing twice. I think somebody tested Mephisto, which is the wind demon, and it didn't work on him. So I just had to kill the boss twice. But why is Hernie there? So Hernie was there for the Oblivion on the Meiho Wong, which was standing beside the main boss, so that I can actually stun the Meiho Wong. But then I still have to provoke the Meiho Wong just to be sure that my team can survive. So this is also not very free-to-play friendly. I'll be trying out some other team in the future, but this was the team that I used to clear the stage. So I have Rika for the trash wave as well as the stun on the trash minions of the boss in the boss stage, and I have the Jean to provoke. So Jean was probably using Fran Rune, a violent set with speed HP with good accuracy, and that is what you need to control the trash wave. This one was probably using, a HP rune in the slot 6 to make sure that she can land the Oblivion onto the Meiho Wong, and also there's Water Demon in the second wave, which means the Oblivion will allow you to stop the Water Demon from coming back to life. Spectra was my main damage dealer, and Gani was there to reset attack bar, which is really important. It's not for the cooldown reset, but for the attack bar reset, and also to ventilate other people's skill. It is very important to watch out for the main boss attack bar. You want to kill the boss when he has no attack bar, so he come back without moving instantly to one-shot somebody from your team, because most likely you'll be heavily wounded after he come back with the Rageful Return. So destroy the boss when he has low attack bar, and try to remember that you need some other skill immediately to control him with either provoke or attack bar reduction, and then you can destroy him again. This is a team that I use on stage 7. Here, increased critical damage by 200% is good and bad, because your damage dealer will be doing some fantastic damage. Meanwhile, enemy can also destroy your ass, so you have to finish the fight quickly. I run a Ganymede here to reduce attack bar, but I think if you have provoke, this will be enough as well to stop the Diana from having that skill 2 transformation. Then the Jean provoke put up invincibility, you'll be able to tank the Diana for a couple of turns. The main thing to do here is to kill the boss with the damage come from Spectra. So if you don't have Rika and you have some other AoE control unit, feel free to use them to control the Diana, and then try to do as much damage onto the, what is her name, HongYeon, as soon as possible. So that's the trick here. Leo Ragdol stage is pretty tough, because right here you have immune to stun, which means Tyrone will only be half useful. But with attack break from Spectra and with glancing from Tyrone, you're probably gonna be okay. Second wave is not that strong. In the last stage, I needed to upgrade a new artifact for my bird to have that damage received from Dark artifact, and also beef up my Bella. He was not as tanky like this. So you have to take a lot of hit from Ragdoll, because you can never perfectly push back their attack bar, especially without a Gani, because Tyrone will have to hit them, and no matter what crit rate you have, you're gonna crit on the Ragdoll anyway. So my Tyrone is rocking a violent build. I know a lot of crit rate, but I was doing it like 2 AM into the night, and I didn't have mana to rerune, so I just go in like just whatever, and it still worked though. It still worked. So the trick is still tanking with the light unit, and then trying to do as much damage as possible onto the Leo, and just finish the Leo off immediately. Did take me a couple try, but I finished in the end. And with attack break from Spectra, it was pretty crazy how much damage Ragdoll could do, but it was still manageable. Moving on to the Artamiel stage. The first time I cleared, it was with the Jemaya Lure team, much stronger than this, because more cooldown reduction, more damage from Jemaya was much easier. But this was able to do it as well. So the trick is the same. You go in with attack bar reduction, control, and then try to destroy the Artamiel as quickly as possible. Because there wasn't much that was hitting me. I didn't need a Bella, but Lauren with heal block was much more important, and also the pushback that constantly controlled the Artamiel was more important to keep doing damage onto the Artamiel, because Artamiel gain attack bar constantly because you're critting all the time. Ooh, this was the really tough one. Crit damage increase and also immune to stun. So the first wave with the Atharos, I think that was the hardest wave of this entire thing, because I cannot control the Atharos how I want. Immune to stun, which means that thing can actually go back to back and kill one of your unit. There's nothing I could do about it. So it took me a couple tries to actually pass the Atharos. Have to kill the Atharos first, and moving on to the male boss. It was possible to control the male boss forever. I didn't realize that because I was running a Gani and Lauren before, and I couldn't control the male boss entirely. But because of how low cooldown Tyrone's skill is, and with the homunculus constantly supporting him with cooldown reduction, you can actually keep the boss down forever. Vigor will keep your team alive with the healing and also provide defense break and give you good damage. And then Spectra will be the main damage dealer. So just keeping the boss down with Tyrone and cooldown reduction from the homunculus was enough for the Spectra to destroy the main boss. Then we move on to the Masha and the HongYeon stage. It was not too difficult. So you do the same thing, you push back the attack bar, defense break them, kill them one by one. This girl was really important to stripping and defense breaking the HongYeon, because when they buffed the revenge thing, ooh, that was not good for Tyrone and the Vigor. If you have anti-crit and they don't crit you, increased crit damage by 200% means nothing. So Vigor was really good in this stage because of the anti-crit. So I killed the red one first. The revenge attack didn't really do much damage if you have anti-crit, but the green one was a little bit troublesome because the green one can heal by attacking you. So landing the heal block with Vigor was crucial to doing damage to the green one. You always try your best to kill the clone so that the boss will be stunned for a turn, and that's when you can just go ham and cheese on her. But try your best to kill at least the green one. So that was my ToA Hell journey. It was a mix of free-to-play team and pay-to-win team. It was a lot of headache. It cost me more than 10 million mana to rerun, way too much energy, and a lot of hair was lost and probably will never come back again. But at least I'm now ranked 6 in Asia server to finish this entire thing. Maybe they're gonna nerf buff it. I don't know what they're gonna do with it in the future, but that was me. I hope that it might give you some inspiration. It might give you motivation to clear this, because the final message that I got from clearing this thing on 3-star was 50 crystal. So it was kind of underwhelming. And then you get a small message here that says SeanB has conquered all the goals of Trial of Ascension Hell and 50 crystal. That was about it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope it was helpful. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.